Hey, what's up, everybody? Tom Worthing with AlphaLife Floors, and I'm here with Justin Carter, who is an admin here at Real Life Church. And we're going to talk a little bit about the flooring project that we did here. And we did about 4,700 square feet. We did kind of a central area and some offices, and this massive room, which is they call the warehouse. It's just kind of a common room and a meeting room. What else do we do? A hallway, kids welcome area.
All of our offices internally,
offices.
kids' rooms, nursing room. I think that's everything.
Yeah, so it was quite a large project. And we actually just wrapped it up not too long ago in the offices. And so I'm going to ask you a few questions.
All right,
Let me know what you think. And so the first question is, before we began, what were your biggest concerns about the project?
Yeah, I think some of my biggest concerns were, we're a church, and so we try to be good stewards of what we're doing with our money. And so how much is this whole project going to cost us? And as well as if we invest this money into a company or into a person, is it going to be a good product in the long run? And I think just over the period of talking with you and getting the proposal from you, we felt very excited about the numbers we received. We did a lot of research and we checked with other people's. We have a few people that are in commercial businesses that get carpet quotes, get tiling quotes, and you just gave us really good prices. And so we were just super excited about that. But then every time you came in and worked for us, you had a really good heart about what you were doing. You were trying to do a very excellent job, which for us is more than a business. We're a people business, and that's what we care about is people. To see somebody just care and love about their whole job and how they install it and what it looks like is just super exciting to me.
That's cool, and that's probably one of the number one questions is what's this going to cost, and what kind of value or can you offer? And I think that's one of the things I try to do with residential commercial projects is present like the best bang for the buck that I know of, not present like thousands of options and overpriced brands and things with gimmicks and a lot of promises that just isn't going to perform. So that's cool that you brought that up.
Yeah, too, another thing just to throw it in is I know you're obviously looking out for us when you're showing me a few options that you received from a supplier and you're like, hey, this isn't an option you'd want, but this one is. And that you're just being real with us. You're like, hey, because you're a commercial space, how you use your space, this is what you actually want to use. And you kept us from going with thing that is way over the top, but also keeping us from wasting our money on product that we don't need, which I really appreciate on our end.
Yeah, awesome. All right, the next question is, so what made us to you stand out, whether it was initially or what kind of piqued your interest and made us stand out the most?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of personal connection. Just, when you come to give us a quote, you ask us a lot of questions on how we're using the space, what it's going to look like. You're trying to be very flexible with us. And we work with a lot of businesses, and a lot of them are very business-centric, where it is just a business to them, where when we're talking to you, it just feels like we're talking to a friend, and you're trying to help us make the best decision. Whereas a lot of businesses, they're just trying to increase profit margins or do their best to stay financially afloat. I just feel like we were having a real conversation about what can we do to make this the best, and I really appreciated that.
That's cool. And that's another thing that I'd like to mention and bring out too, is that being a smaller business is that you're not being passed from a salesperson to an installer. You're dealing with like a subcontractor installer or dozens of different people. You're dealing with the same person and the same communication throughout the process. So
yeah, having one contact is honestly super easy. I've had as a matter of fact, it was this last week I had to reach out to 4 different people for a different company we're working with for a different part of our building, and each one of them was confused about a part that I had mentioned because they're not communicating between each other. Whereas, like you said, when it's just one person, I'm talking directly to him and to whoever he sends my way, and then they're communicating that well between themselves. And I just appreciate that a lot.
Good deal. Next question. Once the project was underway, how did we handle, well, you just talked about that, communication and scheduling. And is there anything else you want to add about any challenges or communication, scheduling, working around things that were happening at the church. Is there anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for us, obviously we're a church, so like our first priority is Sundays. We want to make sure everything's good for Sunday. But during this time, we're actually doing a lot of renovations in our building, especially in this warehouse and in our office spaces, where we had one of our maintenance guys, he's doing projects in here. We had painters in another place. And you were super cool about that. You were super flexible. You understood like, hey, there's multiple people working on this project all at once. And even though we had, initially told you, hey, Sunday's the only day you can't work, you were able to flex on what we originally thought was going to work, but ended up being, hey, we're not able to do it this day. Can you work with us this day? And you're just super flexible with the schedule, just taking care of us. Spent a lot of time making sure, everything's going in the way we want it. You rechecked at every step. So like we had in the warehouse, we have this slant where we left some old flooring for some color pop, and you made sure that, hey, where is this going exactly? Because I just want to follow, what your guys' design ideas are, and I just really thought that was great.
Awesome. All right, Justin, last question. So what difference has the new flooring made, and would you recommend AlphaLife for other, commercial or residential projects?
Oh, absolutely. So for us, we are a very up-to-date, culturally relevant church, and all of our flooring was super outdated, made us feel like we were back in the 1990s, 1980s. And so you guys came in, you helped us pick great colors, you made sure that it was installed correctly, and now we get all kinds of comments on our carpet, even from people that have never been here before. So this is honestly a huge upgrade. And it was huge because even though, carpet you're going to install in 4,700 square feet is a lot, there is cost involved with it. It was relatively cheap for what we were doing, and it made such a huge impact on us in our congregation. I do think that anyone that's trying to get carpet installed, flooring, tiling, whatever it looks like, this is your guy. He's the one to talk to, because seriously, he helped us and he really had a good heart about it. He was taking care of us. Personally, this wasn't just a big business not thinking through who you are, and he's asking all kinds of relevant questions about what looks best and how do we want to do it, and he's laying out big samples so we can see it and envision it right in front of us. And that kind of treatment, I don't think you can buy, and especially with the prices that we received, we were just taken care of so well, and I recommend him a ton. He's an awesome guy.
All right, I think that's going to do it. All right, thanks, Justin.
Yes, sir.
All right.
It's good having you.
See you guys. Get a hold of us if you need some a quote for commercial work, residential work, carpet tile, plank, glue down plank. We might be doing some glue down plank here pretty soon, huh?
I think so. That'll be an upcoming thing.
So we'll keep you posted on that. All right, take care.